conference and watching what happens at those and all the collective students that come from across the country, it's really an eye-opening experience. And New Tech High School is doing great things in Arkansas as well as around the country. Had the pleasure of visiting also several of those New Tech High Schools while I was commissioner and even beyond that. And New Tech High School in San Diego happened to be on that campus the same day that Bill Gates and Oprah Winfrey were there. Quite an exciting day for the kids as well as everybody else. But bottom line, I'm here to talk to you today about Arkansas Initiative for Math and Science. Something I'm very proud of and something that we started when I was Commissioner of Education several years ago. And in that process, we applied and were selected as one of the initial states for an ExxonMobil grant. And that brought $13.2 million into the state of Arkansas to be able to work on the following objectives: increasing the number of students that are enrolled in advanced placement classes in this state across all sectors of the student population, as well as increasing the number of students that are scoring at the qualifying level, which are 3, 4, and 5 on the AP examinations. And most of you probably are aware in this room that if a student scores at that 3, 4, and 5 on those AP examinations, then he or she is eligible to obtain college credit as they continue to move forward. So that's something that's been a very, very positive influence for the state of Arkansas and something that we're very, very proud of. We've just now completed our first 5 cohorts, and we'll begin with our 6th cohort of schools this coming fall. I want to read something to you very quickly before I show you very quickly some PowerPoint slides which kind of bring home the data points, which we're very proud of. And I'll tell you folks, in my years in public education and in the private sector, as you look at return on investment and as you look at what this program has done for the state of Arkansas, it's truly phenomenal. Because I know in my career I've spent an enormous amount of money in a variety of different roles, whether it be a teacher, a high school principal, a superintendent, or as commissioner, on things that we thought were going to pay great dividends, and oftentimes they did, oftentimes they did not. This program strictly will show you, as you look at the data points, the return on investment that it's brought to the state of Arkansas. And the state of Arkansas and our economy and across various sectors have been direct beneficiaries of this program. But one of the best quotes, and I want to read it to you very quickly because it was so meaningful, and I had the pleasure of being there when he said it. "This is a proud day for Arkansas and a sign that more of our students are going to get an excellent and not just an adequate education. We will continue the momentum both to make ongoing improvements as well as sustain these outstanding achievements." That quote's from Governor Mike Beebe on the day that we announced our receipt of the ExxonMobil grant in the governor's conference room. And we knew very clearly that day what this was going to bring and the benefits that were going to be derived from this program coming into the state of Arkansas. So that is a crucial fact that has really paid great dividends for us as we continue to move forward. And I'm going to go ahead and work through these slides very quickly because I've got some key data points that I want to emphasize for you so that you can leave here today with a better understanding of what the initiative has brought to the state. Before I do that, I do also want to tell you that initially some of the criticisms of this program when we first got the grant, well, this is going to be an elite program. This is going to be for those schools and those students that are already high achievers. And so yes, you're going to show great results as you continue to move forward. And as you look at our cohorts, and I'm not going to name all of them for you, but you'll see them on the screen, you will see how this program was structured. And it was structured to make sure that that was not the factor. We are representative of the state of Arkansas and in school districts across the state of Arkansas, which cover the demographic range and which cover high poverty, which cover high wealth, and things of that nature. So those are things that we're in turn very proud of as well. As you look at this next slide, and hopefully you can see that to a degree, that you will see the representation across the state in terms of where Arkansas Advanced Initiative is placed. And again, we have 5 cohorts that we've just completed. We're in 39 schools across the state currently, and we'll be adding 4 additional schools as a part of cohort 6 this next fall. We're very pleased to move in that direction. This next slide that I want to show you really kind of tells you exactly where Arkansas is in terms of performance in AP. We're very fortunate that the state of Arkansas and the legislature, through the key leadership of key legislators over time, some of those that are no longer in the halls of the legislature, saw the benefit that AP would bring to the state of Arkansas. If you don't know, the state of Arkansas pays for AP examinations for every student that wants to take an AP examination in this state. And we are the great envy of a number of states across this country as a result of that. But that has enabled us to successfully build this program as well. The first slide here is rankings for increases in passing scores from 2008 to 2013. And when I say this is a researcher's dream in terms of showing return on investment, you will see that these graphs that I'm going to show you depict that. Because every year the graphs go up in terms of the number of students not only taking examinations, but the number of students across all demographics scoring at the qualifying level. For math, science, and English, all areas, you will see Arkansas is number 4. In the minorities, you will see Arkansas is number 1 with a 200% increase in passing scores. In math and science, Arkansas is number 3, and in math and science and minorities, Arkansas is number 1 for the level of increase in qualifying scores of 3, 4, and 5. Now, we still have a long way to go because we started pretty much at the bottom in terms of where we were with respect to performance. So you have to take those percentages and have to understand that it's, 200%, 300%, those sounds like very, very high. How do you do that? Well, it's from where you begin in terms of this whole conversation. But Arkansas has made fantastic strides to date, and we're very proud of that. The next one shows the qualifying scores from 2008 to 2013 in terms of all examinations, and you'll see Arkansas is number 4. And you'll see in all examinations in a minority population, Arkansas is number 1 in the country in the top 20 states. So we're very proud of that, and that shows the great work that has been done by our folks within our organization. And just to let you know, we're very lean and very mean in terms of size. We have 3 content directors in math, science, and English language arts. We have 1 program officer. We have a secretary, my position, and we have also some content specific specialists that work with us on a per diem basis across the state. And as we continue to move forward, those are the folks that have done fantastic work. And I have to give credit to Tommy Sue Anthony, who was our founding president in this organization. I've been on the board for a number of years, and we really, as I indicated, initiated the grant when I was commissioner. But Tommy Sue has done an outstanding job. This last year, she decided to retire. I was on the board and jumped at the opportunity to continue to lead this effort across the state because of the great work that's being done. Here's a key factor for you to keep in mind as I zip through these remaining slides. We make up 14.4% of the schools in Arkansas at 39. Okay, keep that figure in mind. Arkansas aims, and this is reporting on the math, science, and English exams, 14.4% of the schools that we're engaged in. We account for 41% of the advanced placement math, science, and English test taken across the state of Arkansas. So the message here is you take Arkansas aims out of this equation, the performance level, not only in the number of kids taking examinations, but the number of getting 3, 4, and 5 is minimized greatly. 14.4% of the schools, 43% of AP math science exam qualifying scores. So we account for 43% of all the qualifying scores of the schools in the state of Arkansas, those schools that are engaged in Arkansas aims. And again, that's direct evidence that this program is making an impact and has shown great growth over time. Looking at minority math, science, and English examinations, again, the 14.4% of the schools, we account for 49% of the exams taken by minority students in the state of Arkansas. Next slide, 56% of the AP math, science, and exam qualifying scores in the minority population come from AIMS schools. Take those numbers out of the equation and you would see that the performance in the state across the board would be quite different if you removed Arkansas AIMS from the equation. Reporting AP exams on math and science only. Again, the 14.4% of the schools, we account for 42% of the exams taken in that spectrum. 48% of the math and science exams qualifying scores. So you get the message that without Arkansas AIMS, there would be a different picture in terms of AP performance. And that's a direct corollary to the hard work that our folks are doing in terms of professional development in those content areas for the teachers in the state. And I've looked at all those evaluations that we do with our teachers across the state that are involved in our schools. And the evaluation forms that come back from those teachers indicate very clearly that this is some of the best PD that they've ever had, because it directly applies to what they're doing on a day-to-day basis in the classroom. When they leave those PD sessions from our content folks, they take with them things that they can put to work the next day when they get back in that classroom. And that's the direct benefit that you derive from participating in this program. Again, minority math and science examinations, 48% of the exams taken in math and science, 62% of the qualifying scores in math and science for minority students come out of Ames schools. Conclusions: Arkansas Ames schools account for the dramatic increases in performance across the state, as evidenced by those indicators that I shared with you. We account for the significant increase in the qualifying scores as well, and the increase in the minority students' populations across the board. And we've been recognized by the College Board as a result of that. It's a STEM model that produces results, one that we can take and really scaffold across the dynamic as we continue to move forward. And the correlation between advanced placement and college success is very obvious and is very evident. And I'm going to cite some research, and if any of you want to see this research that Neil Gibson has done on behalf of the Advanced Placement Program in Arkansas Ames, it really shows key factors such as this, is that students that are involved in AP courses in this state have a lower remediation rate as they enter into the college experience. They complete their baccalaureate degree within the time frame prescribed, and they amass credit hours more quickly than those students that are not engaged in AP classes. The one thing that I found early on in my career about advanced placement is that those students that are involved in AP courses and that may not get to that qualifying score of a 3, 4, and 5, let's say they score a 2. Those students that score that 2 on that AP exam are still better prepared in terms of rigor to meet the college readiness expectations that they're going to be exposed to. So those are the key factors that I want to leave with you today in terms of the importance and the impact of this program. We are very fortunate as a result of the 2013 session that we now have a state appropriation that helps us with our operating cost, because that $13.2 million grant is now gone. And so those schools that were in cohorts 1 through 5 had the benefit of all of those resources. Our schools moving forward now will pay for our program on their own out-of-district resources as we continue to move forward. But folks, to me, as an educator for a number of years and making decisions on how we allocate resources, I always tried to make sure that I allocated resources based upon where I could see the most benefit in terms of student outcomes and student learning. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts as you look at this data, and as you say, where can I get my best bang and return on investment? This is a program that significantly, since the inception, has proven that. There's not a lot of program information out there in a variety of different areas that can demonstrate this level of success. And we have demonstrated it again in all demographics across the state. These schools were not cherry-picked for their high performance. The other thing I want to mention to you that this program brings to the table is in terms of incentives. We have student incentives and we have teacher incentives. For those students that score 3, 4, and 5s, they get $100 for every score of 3, 4, and 5 on a qualifying exam. For those teachers that have those students that score those 3, 4, and 5s, they get a $100 per examination bonus. And built into the teacher model via that grant was also a threshold bonus. In some of our larger schools in Northwest Arkansas, we've had teachers that have amassed a $10,000 to $12,000 bonus each year based upon the number of kids that have scored 3, 4, and 5s in their classes. Now, the majority of those have been in English language arts because those are traditionally the higher level classes in terms of enrollment. But we've also seen significant growth in the science areas as well as math. So I'd be happy to send you any more data that you would like if you want to contact me after we're done here. and give you all of the information that you need. And we hope to continue to grow this program as we continue to move forward. It's been a pleasure to speak with you here today, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have about our program. Thank you very much.